rules. I got three things I need to defend against. And this is what mount protection position is. Number one, the hooks. I don't want him to put the hooks in. Alright, if he gets the hooks in, it's going to be difficult for me to do anything. Okay? So I need to keep my legs flat on the floor. Can't put the hooks in. Number two, I don't want him to scoop under my head. So I press my head down tight to the floor. I'm laying here anyway, I might as well press it. If I'm up like this, I'm going to be getting Ezekiel choked or controlled or, cross face, very bad. The third thing is, I never want to let the guy get his knees in my armpits. Because now he's sitting on my chest. This sucks. This is a very, very bad position to be in. Because I can't do nothing. I can't bump the guy. He can just ride me like a horse all day. In order to escape the mount, he has to be on my belly. I've got to have the guy on my belly because now I've got the power of my hips. Okay? Now, so hop off for a second. So mount protection position is, I got a little say in there, you're flat as a board. I am a board. Flat as a board. Legs flat, head flat, hands, I like to gable grip them together and put them right under my chin, elbows tight. Why? You ain't prying that out for, if I go prayer hands, home alone hands, stupidest thing in the world, he's going to pry that out for a key lock. I can't fight one arm on two arms. Here, he didn't pry my arms out. I got a good gable grip. Both hands are defending. Plus, my elbows are in tight so he can't slide his knees in my armpits. Okay? And I'm defending my neck so he can't get collar access to start choking the neck. Now, this is the first battle, is to get to this position. Now, sometimes you bypass this position here because if the guy's not mounting very well, you can go into trapping or shrimping. But a lot of times you need to get to mount protection position. All right, so come on over here. Once he gets to mount protection position, I'm going to pay attention to what he's doing to start to escape. He's going to be in one or two places. He's either going to be sitting up, right? Or he's going to be laying flat. Okay? Now, each one has a slightly different escape that I'm going to use. All right? Now, the overall is pretty simple. Okay? One thing to always remember is if the guy is based with his arms out wide, I never try to chicken wing his arm. Because I'm not going to break his arm down here. And the only thing that's going to happen, he's going to drive his weight out right on top of that arm, and now my arm's in danger. He's got a perfect opportunity for either the key lock or the straight arm lock. Right here. Gets back and wherever I put it, he's got a way to break the elbow, break the shoulder. Right? So I got to pay attention. The only time I go for the Oompa roll is, one, if he makes the mistake and puts his arms right next to my head like this. Then I can pummel through and trap it. Because there's no danger of him getting my arms stuck out here. Then I got same arm, same leg. Now I got a hold of him. I use the other hand to help to push the hip right here. Okay? Now when I go to do my Oompa roll, the big common problem most people get in is they do this. They'll just step this leg up here to try to roll him, and as soon as I step the leg up, he shoots the hook in. And now he kills my roll. Okay? So, when I trap his arm, and I always trap the arm first, because it's harder to trap an arm than it is a foot, because I got to go same side. If I'm sitting down over here, and I trap his foot, I predetermine myself to have to trap that arm. But, right now, I can go either way. I get the arm trap, boom, I hook the foot. Okay, when I hook the foot, I slide it in tight. Now, I'm going to point my toe, and I'm going to suck my foot up as close as I can. I want to minimize this space right here, because I'm going to go fast. I just don't go, okay, boop, and then try to roll him. He's going to shoot that hook in. When I go to lift this leg up, it's got to be fast. So I point my toe, and I suck my foot in. See, I'm on my tippy toes. No space at all for him to put that hook in, because he's going to be trying to put that hook in. Now, as soon as I get here, immediately, right up over the shoulder, I'm going to bridge and take him over. Now, when I get here, this arm's in danger because of that hook. So I need to pummel it inside and get to protection position in the guard. Elbows and knees tight together. Okay? So that's the first style of the Oompa roll. The second style of the Oompa roll is if the guy scoops my head. Okay? There's three basic Oompa rolls. All right? There's the arm trap, the head scoop, and the lapel grab, the choke. Okay? So the second one, he scoops my head. I made a little mistake and he got my head scooped. So, whatever side it's on, he's trapping his own arm right now. I'm going to reach back and grab the back of my neck. Right? Now he can't pull his arm out. Try to pull your arm out. And I'm hugging it tight. That arm's mine. You'll see some people that try to grab the arm. I can't stop him from pulling his... Now I've lost it and look at my arm. Oh, shit. He's just going to start arm locking me or driving for a key lock because of where my arm was. So when he scoops my head, I grab the back of my neck and I chicken wing it tight. Same arm, same leg, right? Point the toe, suck it in, bump forward and roll. As soon as I roll, bam, inside position. On my tippy toes, elbows and knees tight, guard protection. That way I can start posturing and passing. The third style, and this is for gi only because in no gi you don't have a gi on, right? He puts the hand in the collar and starts trying to choke me. I'm sitting here and he opens up the collar, puts the hand. I hold the wrist, seek up the elbow. This is just classic Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Oompa roll here. Defend the neck, not thumb down, thumb up, right? Cup the elbow. I keep my elbows tight. Now I got the arm trap. Hook the foot. Point the toe, suck it in tight, bump and roll. Now when I roll, he's still got the hand in the collar, right? So I'm going to make the little waiter tray here. That way he can't put his elbow down. Loop the head through, right to posture. I never want to let him have that cross grab. So anytime he has that cross grab, I make the waiter tray. See how my elbow's on his body here? Loop the head. Because see now, he can't put his arm down. Put your arm down. Right? If I'm like this, he can put his elbow down. So when he does this, I got to keep the other hand out. I work my elbow into his hip. Now it's blocking. Now, see that bone ain't going to bend. He tries to put that arm down, he can't do it. I got to hold to loop the head through, then I can start posturing. Okay? So the three basic ways of the Oompa roll. But there's always the exact same motion. Same arm, same leg, same side. I got to trap the arm. Always trap the arm first, right? Whether I do the chicken wing, the overhook, the head scoop, or the choke. Once I get the arm, trap the foot, now the battle begins. The battle of the Oompa roll is the second hook. I don't want to be lazy and let him get that because then he's going to sprawl on me and I can't go nowhere. So when I go, I'm here. This leg's still flat so that hook doesn't get in. You got here, I point the toe, I suck it in tight, trying to minimize this space as best I can, and immediately bridge up and over with my Oompa bridge right into my protection position. Okay, so when you're practicing it, what I like to do when I do this one is, I like to have people do all three. You and your partner, you kind of go like this. Come here. Remember, lay down, come out. So you do number one guy sitting over here. All right, good mount protection position, okay? And you can always, add other things into it here. If you could have the guy start sitting on the chest, and then he's got to, what I say to kids, squirm like a worm and get you back on the belly to get the mount protection position. You could always have the guy start with the hooks in, and then you got to blow the hooks off, you got to punt the football, do one and then push the other one. Kick the one hook off, push the other hook down, get the mount protection position, so you can add that into the practice, And then, all right, you got to make some mistake. You got to realize, if I'm based like this, you never try to Oompa roll me. You go for the elbow escape. We'll go over that one next. Okay? If he's like this, you trap that arm. Hook the leg. The battle is the second one, so you can make a little game when you're practicing. Put that leg back down. Because we know what's getting ready to happen. We're practicing. Now, one little tip here when you practice, And this is also in competition or whatever. You see this hand right here? I don't want to leave it like that. Because as soon as we start to roll, look at my weight. See how I'm going to wrist lock myself. So just to make sure I don't injure my wrist, slide it out of the way. Always slide that out of the way so you don't get that wrist hurt. Now I'm sitting here, it's like, all right, he's got to point that toe and suck that hook in and roll me before I get my hook in. And just make a little game out of it. If you're practicing and your partner cannot set that hook, the guy in competition is not going to be able to set the hook. That's the battle of the Oompah roll, is stopping that second hook from setting into the leg. Then you go back over, start it again. You can put a little drill into it. When the guy Oompah rolls you over, sweep him back to the mount. Hip high sweep, scissor sweep, flower sweep. You know, just sweeping back over to the mount, establish the mount position, get back to mount protection, and then do the second one. You know, he lays down here, like, all right, now, boom, I sweep his head. Grab the back of your head and hug it, strap the arm, okay, here's the game, I'm trying to get the hook in, all right, he rolled me. Back to guard protection position. You know, then you could work a sweep, or you could just go back over, back to the mount again. He lays down there, now you do the third one. I come up on the mount. I open the collar, I stick my hand in. He grabs the wrist, he cups the elbow. Always thumb up. See, he cups the elbow, right? Because look here, turn your hand the other way. Look at his arm positioning right there.
Weak.
Weak. Turns it that way, strong. Right?
Over the body.
Yeah, now he traps the leg, and here's the game. I'm trying to get the hook. He rolls, makes the little waiver tray. Now he loops the head down under. Because when you overroll in this situation, you're still in danger of the choke from the guard. So you got to get this arm out of the collar. Right? So you make your little waiter tray right here. I can't put that elbow down. Now he just loops that head right through the hole. I ain't got nothing.
And all you guys who roll with me, or before I got all busted up, you guys know when I got that lapel, you're having a bad day.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's the whole thing about the guard in gi jiu-jitsu. I want this. Boom, I get this. The deeper I get this, you're in trouble. I got chokes, I got sweeps, I got control. You ain't posturing. The head's the heaviest part of the body. I get this right here. Now, if I'm here, it's a different story. That's why I'm always trying to get this hand as deep up in that collar as I can, because now I only need one hand to control you. Now I can start working things, you know, just like me and Kevin were talking about before. Bam, right there with the arm bar with the hand in the collar. Right? You got the collar, don't let go out.
See, well, no matter where we end up in jiu-jitsu, me and Jim, we started out with the same guy.
Yeah.
So it's always deep in the collar. Everybody got read the riot act. Deep in the collar.
I mean, you know, one thing in jiu-jitsu is you're going to play the game, you got to know the rules. If you're playing, you know, don't argue about what's better. If you're doing no gi, you need to grapple no gi. If you're doing gi, you need to grapple gi. Even though they're the same, they're a little bit different. You know, different. Even though the techniques are similar, you know, and also you think about it too. Anything you can do no gi, you can do gi. Anything. So when you're training no gi jiu-jitsu, you're training gi too. Matter of fact, 95% of gi jiu-jitsu doesn't even require grabbing the uniform. 90% of it. It directly translates back and forth, gi, no gi. The only thing is with the lapel, it makes it easier to control because the things aren't as sweaty with the cloth, you know? All right, so 3 little styles of Oompah rolling there. The biggest thing is making sure that you get into a good position here. If you initially get in the mount and you're not in that position, that's your fight. You got to get to mount protection position. Come here and get the mount. So a good way to start the practice is to start like this. Lay it out with the arms out. The guy's down on you. You know, boom. I got to get here. You know, now I can start attacking him. Oh, there's the arm, there's the leg. Boom, roll him over. I'm in the guard. Okay? All right, so let's do that a couple of times there. All 3 with the Oompah rolls. And then we'll go over the elbow escapes. All right? And that'd be real good mount escaping techniques. You know?